All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message, bringing the light into the scriptures, bringing the light out. That's what I should say of the scriptures, bringing the light out of the scriptures. Okay, that's what Sister Deborah is going to talk about this evening. And that is the message this evening. I first and foremost like to say that um, they're moving on up. Now, I think it might have been three years when I say I believe they're gonna lock in on 7G. I don't know what's going on with 7G, but somewhere I felt when they hit that 5G, I just knew where it's going to serve its purpose is when they hit that 7G. Is something in that uh, with the 7G. I know you never heard of the 7G, but they skipping from the 5G. Now they finna go to 6G. But I have a couple of videos where I talked about 7G. When they get to that 7G, that's when you're gonna see um, uh, uh, something unusual, something you ain't never seen before. Because I truly believe that this here uh, uh, towers for these 5G and the 6G and the 7G, they hold a part in the AI. I really believe it's going to play a role in with this AI. I can't explain it and I'm not about to, especially tonight. I'm not going to explain that and break that thing down, but I believe I think I talked and I spoke on it maybe 3 years ago during the pandemic. I was telling y'all in the midst of it, I was telling y'all about they're going to try to reach a 7G. Now they have moved to 6G, but wait until they hit 7G is where it's going to be at. And I was speaking of that, about 3 years ago. I think I only made no more in between 3 to 5 videos regarding the 7G. But right now they were on 5G. They moved it toward 6G, and I think the 7G has a meaning and a purpose. And you know what? I wasn't planning on doing this, but something in me said speak on it, and I'm hoping that being so it has spoken in me, it's finna support what I'm about to say and help me in what I'm about to say. And I'm gonna write that down right here. Okay. And what I believe it's speaking to me about is how people blame Satan, the devil, for everything. And we were talking, hello in the live chat, it's good to see you. We were talking about the other day in how David was telling you and owning his iniquity, his iniquity, his sin, and his wickedness toward Yah. Paul owned his toward Yah. I even heard it even from Solomon in Proverbs. I was like, wait a minute. What is it with all of these men of Yah? They are not afraid to own their wickedness, their iniquity, and their sin. Why? Because there's deliverance in truth. In truth, there is deliverance. So I think the reason why he want me to bring up Satan, because I was talking to myself in the car and I was really like ministering. And I was talking about how we tend to want to blame Satan as our scapegoat. But the truth be really, really told, I was ministering. I mean, I was preaching in that car. And it was about how we want to blame Satan for any and everything. That's our human scapegoat. We want to be able to say, oh, it's him, like we blame everybody else. And what made me get on that was I think about how some people, even during divorce and separation, they'll blame the husband, or they'll blame the wife, or they'll blame the children. Okay, they'll blame what's really heavy that's rocking the world. Something y'all haven't paid no attention to. That is adult children blaming their parents. Now, hear me now. Hear me now. And the parents are booming, coming back, bouncing back, blaming their children. They are defending themselves. Now, you got to understand, these are not adult children blaming their fathers or their grandparents that have never been in their lives or haven't been in their life. It's only mother, male and female adult children are blaming mothers. But I'm going to tell you what I saw. This is what I've seen in the last almost 3 years. They're blaming each other so wholehearted to the point they are against each other, and it's going into years after years after years, and the grandbabies are always caught in the middle. But the thing about it is, it's got to be something that falls under a prophecy. It got to be, and it is. It is. You see, outside of people not owning their own fault and their own self, because if self is your worst enemy, how dare you be able to pick out other people who are enemy to you, even the very one who has raised you, taking care of you. Now, the absent father, they don't have no problem. The absent grandparents, they don't have no problem with them. Only the one that was present. If you don't think that's sick, something wrong with that. But then you got the parents over here trying to defend themselves when you can't. When you can't defend yourself. Because you don't understand what you're trying to defend yourself from. And you're still on these platforms trying to defend yourself from what you hear your children are accusing you or saying these things about you. And it's been years after years. And you know what I learned? It's not just Judah. It's really heavy in Judah. But it's heavy. It's starting to show you it's across the board. When it's across the board, therefore, Sister Deborah is going to, and I think that's what I do tomorrow morning, do a message. I'll be up tonight trying to bring you all a prophecy or something that has warned us in this day that this will take place, because it's really deep. The adult children are not blaming the absent father. They're not blaming the absent grandparents. They only blaming the mother that have been in their life. And yes, do they have reason? Many of them got a lot of reasons to blame. But guess what? It's a trick to it that they don't know. They have no idea that you're blaming the one he told you to honor. So right there, it's an issue within you. It's deep. And this how Satan came in when I started preaching about Satan. I said, because here the parent, the mother trying to defend herself. Why she's trying to defend herself? Because I'm a mother. I'm going to tell you, I can see how she tries to defend herself because she was the only one there. You see, you got to defend that alone. You see, but they are not having the issue with nobody else who haven't been there to do anything for them. Not understanding that's where you're hurting. That's where you were wounded. You see, they can't see that. They look at the fact that the one that was there didn't do this, didn't do this, didn't do this, had me doing this, had me doing this, had me doing this, allowed this to happen to me, this to happen to me, this to happen to me. But just wonder. They didn't and they don't understand. You are the sperm of your father. And if you don't check with your bloodline, in which you are the sperm of, you can't go to the incubator and blame it. You still have to go to where and who you are. So what happens? They won't understand on both sides. Your worstest enemy, parents, mother, is yourself. Adult children, your worstest enemy is yourself. Once you learn that you yourself is your worstest enemy, there ain't nobody on this earth can override you yourself being your worstest enemy. That's the first thing you got to tackle. But what do? Satan, evil, wicked. It's always everything else that they go after outside of really searching themselves. Why? Because this is the key to it, y'all. It ain't even a mystery. The key to it is this. I'm hurting. And because I have this rooted deep down hurt and it can't seem to go away, I got to find somewhere or somebody that I can blame in hope that if I can blame someone for it, truly the hurt would disappear. You won't, because you first have to blame self. Self is your worstest enemy. And if you think for 1 minute, when the baby come onto the earth, that baby is just not even if that baby receives the breath of life, guess what? It has to stand for judgment before the throne. Yah is holding it liable for what he know about this baby. The baby don't have to see the sin and act the sin the way you see it in the flesh. They're seeing when you come into your mother's womb. That's a sin right there. Why? Because it's flesh. See, people don't know that sin is flesh. Flesh with clothes on and flesh with clothes off. That's why you need a deliverer. That's why you need to be born again. Because that's the flesh. So you need to be born again so you can be able to enter into the spiritual realm. Now old things pass away. You become a new creature. You get what I'm saying? So don't estimate that Yah is not going to have every spirit stand before him, even that baby who lived 2 or 3 hours, because Yah knew that baby before he got down here. And don't estimate. He looking at the fact that Israel and Judah, especially Judah, have no idea how the heavens deal with you. The heavens deal with you from the forefather level. And they still don't understand that. So while you blaming mama, you don't know any spiritual guidance. You don't understand your worstest enemy. You messed up from the floor because you're living and having a hard time. And this is how they go into this depression. They got to have candles burning. They need a psychiatrist. They need a counselor. They need all these things. Why? Because they really not dealing with their parents. And the parents really not dealing with their adult children. They're dealing with issues within. They are dealing with the issues within. And until you able, and you're not going to be able, it's over, it's finished. And when I say you're not going to be able to, I can't say it like that, but yes, I can say it. Because the truth be told, the wheat and the tare has been separated. Yah has already marked his in his forehead. I like to know what everybody else thinks supposed to come. We've been here probably 10,000 years, and we still saying we need more time. Truly, that can't be it. Truly, Deborah, 10,000 years can't be over now. It can't be finished. But see, the problem is, the issue is within. And what everybody do, once they keep flipping it over to everybody else, they turn it over to Satan. So everybody saying that it's Satan's fault. It's demons and wicked. They connect wicked with Satan, but that's not true. The Father tell you can be wicked without Satan. See, that's what people didn't know. But listen to David. Listen to Paul. Paul even said, I know I'm in the law of Yah, but wait a minute, I'm still doing evil things. So the issue is not Satan. What I don't think people understand is Satan has met his obligation. Satan has met his purpose. Satan knows that the only purpose I'm down here is to deceive the whole world. He's not battling with that. He ain't having no problem with deceiving the whole world. He sees that the world has been totally deceived. Just even the topic I'm talking about, the daughter, the adult children against their parents. I'm gonna say the mother. You see, right there, he ain't got nothing to do with that child. He ain't. A lot of things we're rolling on him. And what you know what the father was telling me? To keep us from owning that thing. Keep us from looking in the mirror at ourselves. We will roll all issues either over to somebody else so we won't have to accept it and deal with it and move up higher from it or away from it because it is too deep, y'all. These issues these people are having is so deep, they got to transfer it to somebody else. That's how heavy their issues are. So this one lady, particular lady that has a TikTok, she ain't been on there that long doing it. She always responded, and this one is always cursing. And I don't know, she started, and then you got all these European mothers. They having problems with their adult children. Y'all, it's across the board. But it ain't nothing but a war of the children, male and female, against their mothers. That's it. See how the men escapes out of many things? So the issue should never have been mother. It should have been those who wasn't there. Grandparents, daddy, aunts, uncles. Mama had to put up. See, they don't see that. So here you got people who haven't, even the mothers, haven't dealt with self to where neither nor understand you your worstest enemy. So you can be anybody enemy. If we are our worstest enemy, we can be anybody enemy. Look at David sitting here telling the father, against thee. I'm against thee. You know what he talking about? That flesh. And Sister Deborah saying the same thing. So as I was preaching into myself and ministering to myself about Satan, it's an eye-opener because he has met the position Yah has ordered him to. See, what y'all don't understand, Yah ordered him to that position. He didn't order that position himself. Just like each and every last human being come onto the earth and leave out. We were sent here by the order of the Father who sits on the throne, who's high and low, who's the I am, he's the everything. But see, we won't do that. We want to blame someone because our flesh is hurting so bad till we refuse, because a lot of people haven't been taught that your worstest enemy is not those that you call your enemy. You first have to start with yourself. And that's a situation too many people don't want to enter their in because it's too heavy. It's too heavy to blame yourself first and foremost. But if you can't blame yourself, you can't blame nobody else because your worstest enemy is yourself. And see, they don't understand what I'm talking about. You know why they wouldn't understand? Because the worstest enemy is flesh. Flesh is wicked. Flesh is sinful. You see, it carries iniquity. Oh no! See, and this sinful iniquity and wickedness ain't got nothing to do with Satan. Nothing whatsoever. So what I come to really grip is that it has been easy for us to lie regarding Satan and say that every issue that we have is because of him. Because of him. I want to share something with you all. Did you all notice Adam and Eve? Adam, especially the one that was given the order, he never blamed the serpent. He blamed Yah and he blamed woman. And then he said, and she gave it to him and he did eat. Where did Adam blame the serpent? You see? That's deep. But nobody never would have thought that. No one has never heard of that. That Satan never blamed the devil. Did you? Never did. Did you notice that? Never did. Now he blamed Yah. He blamed who after Yah? Who? Woman. Is that not what the world does today? You see the heaviness of blaming woman? It wasn't something that just come up in this day and time. That's why they stole her identity. This has been going on way since the beginning. And that's what he means. When they drop the ball in the beginning, they ain't gonna understand none of it all the way to the end. And that's kind of sad because he's actually saying through his own servants that if they drop the ball in the beginning in Genesis, don't look for them understanding it today, Deborah. You got to understand that. And it's hard to understand that because I look at the fact that, wait a minute, y'all, can't you see the ball down? Pick up the baton. You dropped it. Go get it and run. No, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere with it. You see? So even in the garden, Satan was never blamed fully. Now, the woman said the serpent guiled her, but the fact that the one that he gave the commandment and that law and the consequence too was that man. And never did he own the fact that the serpent played a role in it. He never did. And would you believe, here it is, thousands of years later, you ain't heard nobody as long as you live say what I just told you. In the garden, Adam never blamed the serpent. That just shows you people don't really know what's going on. So I would say that a lot of issues that the adult children are having with their mother, it is, and when I go into it, I know already I'm gonna learn that it's a mystery. And it's a mystery that's clearly seen today, but it was a mystery yesterday, like everything else about y'all being feminine and masculine, and that man stole the feminine realm of the spirit from woman, and then took it upon himself to hold both and said only Yah is masculine. See, they'll never get to the realm of spirit and truth. So when you hear me say it's over, understand it's actually over. Where do you see truth coming? Where do you see the truth actually being taught, being preached, being ministered out here? You don't. So why would we think that, it's still, they still got time? When we look at the time of thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands of thousands of thousands of thousands of years Yah has given us, why are we timing him? Why we got him on the time clock? And we ain't picking up nothing. We're not even laboring on the clock. But we're trying to tell him, you can't make it finish yet. It ain't over. Yes, it is. Okay, so me myself, I the spirit of the Most High was really on me today in that car because I was just emotional because I was thinking, how we blame everything else outside of ourselves, and what does that do? That makes you sick. That makes you stressed. That makes you depressed. That makes you angry. That keeps you upset. Why? Because you haven't tuned in to you being your own worstest enemy first and foremost. You see? David didn't claim it when he went on to telling us all the wicked he was doing. In that sight of Yah, Paul wasn't denying it. But so why do we today feel we don't have to face our own self, who is our own worst enemy? So you got Cross the board. When I say cross the board, on the four corners of the earth, you got the mothers being blamed by the children, the adult children that they raise. Why? Because the order has been out of order. All of those on this side are the sperms. They are against the one that held the sperm, the egg, and the mother that was left with the sperm. They're not angry at grandpa or granddaddy. They're not angry at dad. They angry at the one that had to deal with them. Not understanding that you are your father's sperm and the ways of your father and his father is in you. So this woman has to deal with not only the man that went up the street to have children, went around the corner to have children, and it's called a rolling stone. Oh, these kids don't worry about that. They ain't concerned about that. They worried about the one that had to stick it out and do the best they can by themselves. So if that's not something wrong with that, that's one of the highest wicked and evil that's actually taking place on the face of the earth today. And people, nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees that in different states, you got now they picked up this lynching. They're lynching Black men by great numbers. No one said anything. No one doing anything. And I'm trying to understand what's wrong with these parents, these mothers, these fathers. I ain't gonna look for the father to do very much, but it's just like going, it don't mean nothing. A person can't hang themselves from the tree. A person can what they say commit suicide. Like that's they number one escape for this lynching and this murdering these Black men is that they killed themselves. Look at the two twins they took up in that building. That fence, that place was fenced off. How they get past the fence to go all the way up to that mountain and kill each other? Nobody in the world said nothing. You see? Don't think that the Father can't see this. And don't blame Satan. These are human beings, just like David and Paul, telling you sin, iniquity, and wicked. But these are people, watch this here, that are the serpent seed. You see? They do it full-hearted, based on their spirit and their flesh. They're killing these people. And notice, that's why I can't see, and I can't really look to any or have anything to say about any no Hebrew Israelites of nothing. And this one that was in purple, he's an agent. The ICU, they are being supplied by the government. They are being supported by the government. You see? So they're going to stay in a certain lane. Now they'll go over here and mess with what's that guy name? The black pastors. Oh, they'll go up. Them Hebrew Israelites they have on purple. They'll go up and all up in them and mess with them. But they ain't gonna go around these Christian churches and these Catholic churches. They ain't gonna march around them. It shows you, y'all, they playing the other side. So you can't get mixed up in these religion and these denomination or these Hebrew Israelites, nothing. Don't get hooked up in none of that stuff. Get hooked up with the Most High Yah and call it quits. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow morning, but I'm going to stay up tonight to do a study and try to see where is that mystery that this is going on. That the children are left for the mother to have to put up with, and then the children become the enemies to the mother, and the mother become the enemy to the children, and now you got the mother and the children. And the mother is the only one that was there. And I'm trying to figure out, that don't even make any sense. It does not make any sense. But what does make sense, it's a high level of what you call unseen spirits. It's definitely a high level of that. Because what happened to, it's a lot in that, y'all. When you look at a family that's broken today, all you can see is mother and children. That's the family. And if it's all torn up from the floor up, that's it. But where are the ones that should have been in the family and doing their major part, because the children are the sperms of the man? You see, I said something to someone and they got so angry. They got so angry. And I said, and it's two cases. It's two cases. Now, hear me out. Now, many of you all don't understand this. Now, let's say you got black women over here and you got white women over here, and white women and their husband, black women and her husband. Okay. Black women believe that the baby is theirs and that he has to be thankful just to have her to lay down with him. And the baby is mine. Black women don't make arrangements with the men and say, when we gonna have children? Let's have children. Let's, they so that, oh no, black women don't feel they have to do that. But over here in this white family where the white man and the white woman, well, I want to get my nurse's license. When we'll wait till you get your nurse's license. And she said, and we're going to make sure you get your degree. So let's do it 6 years from now. The white women would reason with their men. But black women, this is my baby. This mine. I just lay down and had it. Man, the black men get up and realize they got a child. And the first thing the woman said, when he laid down with me, the baby can't make herself. How could that be? No, they don't have a choice because you don't include them in the choice making. You just feel having sex with you is the highest key on the earth for them. And if the black men wouldn't act like that, that's to be the truth, then they would see clear. But Judah don't see nothing but a good feeling. And that's it. And even in the midst of his good feeling, he gets up and go to the next. And while she's sitting here, mines. When the police pull up, a young man, 10 years, a young boy, 10 years old in a store, shoplifting. The police put up, they called the police, they pull up, they ask him, where do you live? Where's your mother? That's it. Let's take this European child. He's 10 years old. He in the store shoplifting. Where's your parents? You see, it's a difference. And we as a people, we don't own that thing. It's a big difference. So the individual I was telling it to was so angry because this individual felt, even if he knew that he didn't say he wanted to have a child, he shouldn't have laid down. You see what they put on themselves? You see the sort of, someone's saying something about let me see here. Oh, this is something else. I'm thinking this is something. You see the type of mindset we as individuals and how we okay. You see the individuals, how we both think. And when I was just saying to this individual, we as black women think that's right, and it's not. Because we're trying to call a shot on somebody else's blood. Because we're ignorant. We don't understand that the sperm is where the blood. The baby is built up from that sperm. I believe that the Most High knows who is what. This is why he said, train up a child in a way that he should go. He's talking about the one who holds the sperm itself. But by us keep claiming, this is I. Then when they get up and they start to be rebellion and disobedient and start to do this and do this, and then what? You just stop. Now you don't want to say it's yours or your dad, and you know, now you want to call on him. But he didn't have nothing in it. But you feel that you are so special when he lay down with you, that's what he get. A baby can't make itself. But shouldn't he have a choice? That's the sick mind of Black women. Very sick. That's why they didn't have nothing built up on before they had a child to bring into the world. And then she brings the man by herself. You see what I'm saying? With no one else that's there. Now she bring him home and she at home with him by herself. You see? But then you feel that it was yours? Oh, he ain't got no say so. So they left our women at that with that mindset. You go up to the school. Call his parents. No, they don't say that. Call his mother. So there's something different. There's something that I have to go in and try to seek Yah for giving me some fullness, because it's either a mystery or something that we drop the ball on, to why women are left with the children, even to the point of adult children, and the children have no idea why you trying to blame mother for your pain. You ain't done your history, because if you do your history, you'll realize it ain't your mother that's beating you up on the inside. It's who your father is that's living in you. That's it. Let's look at heavens. Heavens, no matter what, we run our mouth down here all we want. But heaven's always talking about the forefathers, because he knows where all these children come from, even Eve. He knows it come from a sperm. So he knows that that's the liability man has on this earth. It's to support, take care of, provide for that sperm. Who gave it to you? The Father. But what happened? Across the board in different countries, all over the place, everything is against the mother. And the father walked away, never spend. And it's a sad thing. Many people don't spend time. They never seen their dad, or they never spend time with them. And then not only that, grandmama and granddaddy either. They don't go looking for their grandbabies. No, they don't. They don't go saying, well, where's my grandbaby? Or even the fathers, I'm talking about the father's parents. Whatever. Why? Because they son was all over the world dropping seeds. And that's the sickness of all these men talking about polygamy. Because these children are missing their they don't have no relationship even with their grandparents on either side. Because the man is so selfish, all he wants the women for is to lay down with him and have children. And then the children don't have no connection to their grandparents, because you want them in a cult. You want them in a camp. You want them away from everybody so that you can keep. And when you finish having the children, when the children get up to age, they're going to start having sex with their own children. Don't tell me nothing. It's already biblical. It's been known, fact. And that's why I don't listen to nobody talking about grandmama. I don't want to hear what grandmama, nothing about grandmama. I don't want to hear nothing about grandmama, because it's too many things took place and grandmama was fully aware of it. When it was getting ready to take place, how it took place, and the pain of what took place, grandmama didn't say a word. She was always partaker in what was going on. See, the light pulls up today. But yesterday, mama and grandmama also played a role in a lot of the things that was going on in the household. They could have stopped a lot of things that had taken place, but no. They figured it was going on so long, even when they had their mother and their grandmother and their grandfather, it didn't matter. Let the men have their way. Let the men do what they please to they desire to do. So Sister Deborah is like to bring light out of the scriptures tonight. And I want to first and foremost start with Matthew chapter 24. And we're going to just try to bring the light out of the scriptures. Okay. And we want to start with Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. In Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13, it says, "But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved." Now, one thing here, do you understand who's going to endure? Who is Yeshua saying needs to endure? Or what is enduring? Enduring. What is enduring? Who is enduring? And who is Yeshua speaking of? Anybody? What we doing now, we finna bring the light out of these scriptures. Okay? But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. It's telling you the same he that endure is the same that shall be saved. But who is this he that endure? And the same that is he shall be saved. Who is that? Okay. The spiritual seed among the evil seed, among all the evil and wicked. Exactly. That's what that means. That's what that means. So if he's saying this in Matthew's, that he that shall endure until the end shall be saved, why is it we feel that we can just do any and everything and no matter what, we're saved? You know how Israel says the whole house of Israel is going to be saved? I know that we don't understand what that means. Let me stop saying we. People don't understand what that means, because here he says, he that endure. So it's something or someone that endure. And then it says until the end, the same one that endure shall be saved. He's talking about the spiritual seed. Shalom. He's speaking of the spiritual seed, you guys. Okay. This is Matthew 24 and verse 13. The one that endure is your spirit. And the one that is saved is your spirit. Okay. Your spirit, which is a spiritual seed of the Most High Yah. Okay. Now, when people get into that, they will not have no idea. They think that's everybody, or because I'm a Christian, or because I'm a Jehovah's Witness, or because they really believe that is pinpointing them without looking at the fact this is spirit. He's speaking up. You see? Okay. So when I get here to Matthew's chapter 24, and then I go back to verse 5, it says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." Matthew's 24, verse 5. Now, y'all, it's a lot of mystery in there. It's a lot of thunder in there. Matthew's 24 and verse 5. "Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ," which is Hamashiach, "and shall deceive many." Who is this I am? First and foremost, who is I am? He's not saying I am as if here I go, I'm here I am. No. It's making that same statement when Moses said, "Who do I say that sent me?" I am. Okay. So who is I am in Matthew 24 and verse 5? And I'm going to make it very clear for you. Okay. Who is I am? Yah. Exactly. Yah is the Father. That's I am. See, what a lot of people don't understand is the whole Matthews 24 and 25 is not for the flesh of man to understand. Okay? Nothing. You have to have that spirit to be able to climb on top of that. Right, the Father, exactly. Because he's saying, I am, many shall come in my name, saying, I am. When if I am is the Father, who is Christ? And this is what people are not looking for, y'all. People are not looking for this. It's impossible for them to look for it. They're not looking for it. And I'm going to show y'all some power up in here. But I'm going to show you people ain't looking for that. Nobody's looking for it. So he said, I am Christ. And he's saying he wants y'all to know many going to come saying that. Why are they saying that? The Spirit, word, and power. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, you see what you just said? That's what it said. You think this world is looking for that? No, they thinking Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, is out there. Come see Jesus Christ. You won't see Yeshua telling us they're going to come and say that I am Yeshua. You ain't going to find it. You know why? He knows they're not coming saying, the Son of Man is out here. The Son of Man. The Son of Man is out here. Jesus is out here. Yeshua is out here. No, 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 no. There's a lot of power in this verse. I am had to step in. And he said, many shall come in my name, saying, I am the power. I told y'all why. The whole thing, y'all, is about the power of Yah that has been denied. It was denied from the beginning. They never knew that the word was spoke from the Father and the power of his right hand brought it forth. They never knew that. And even to today, this very day, they have no idea, none whatsoever, that Hamashiach, which the world called Christ, is the Father's power, spirit, and word. They have no idea. But here, he's saying, my name. Didn't I not tell you all? When you have the Holy Spirit, you got the name. Didn't I tell y'all that? I told you. You don't have to say these names that everybody else is saying. When y'all come in, you got them. You don't have to prove to nobody nothing. What did they say to them when they received the day of Acts? When Peter and all of them was up in the upper room, they received the Ruach. You see, the Ruach showed up like a rushing roaring wind with fire. They tongue spoke and prophesied. You see? That's when you know right there, it didn't say no name, but it pulled up in power. Woo, Father, yeah. You see? So when people are trying to trap people with all these names, how dare you have the name if you don't have the spirit, the power, and the word? That's who Christ, Hebrew, Hamashiach. Okay? And this is what they're not looking for, you guys. It's told them that they're going to come and they're going to say it's Christ, which is Hamashiach, which is the Father. But how they going to grip you? They're going to know that it's the power. And that's what's going to draw the people out. What do you mean, Deborah? Who can answer why is it that they're going to tell us that, come, see, look, he's out here? Yeshua is always saying in verse 24 of the chapter 24 of Matthew's that many shall come and say that they are the Christ. What is it that you all still today don't know? What is being said in verse 24? What is it today that's going to draw the people out? What is it? Anybody know? Yep, they said they were drunken. Because they couldn't grip. That power had came down on them. That's what I'm saying. That's what's always denied when it come down to the Father. And what he sent down to help the Son of Man. They going to always miss that power. They missed it in the beginning when he created everything. They're going to miss it to the very end. But what is he saying the world is going to let me just show you an example. Listen to this. Let me see if it's I probably can't pull it up right. Oh, is it the same one? Yeah. No, here it is. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 26. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in secret chambers. Believe it not. Okay. Verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ. Where is Yeshua? Why did they say here is Jesus? Where is Yeshua? Or there? Believe it not. When they tell you, then it says, verse 24, for there shall rise false Christ. What about false Yeshua? What about false Jesus? Huh? Because y'all, people, y'all missed it. The way that they're going to bring out the form, and they know who Christ is, but you all don't. And that's what's really kind of thick to me, is that how could the wicked and evil know who Christ is or Hamashiach is in the world though? Because when he's saying, when Yeshua telling us that they're going to say in the end days, how he's out there, but they always say in Christ. Why? Because they're going to be showing y'all power, y'all. That's why. They're going to be performing miracles and signs and wonders and power. You see? That's why I can't be Yeshua, the Son of Man. Come, see. They talking about see the power. That's what they're talking about. That's how many people are going to be drawn. Come, see. And it's all up in 24, letting us know just that. Now, Matthew's 24 and verse 5. Why one don't send in my name to be Yeshua? Notice he didn't put Yeshua, my name. That was I am speaking, letting you know. That's the Son of Yah, the Father's word, spirit, and power. You see? And then he says here in the verse, how have many been already deceived? How is it many have been already deceived? How would you say people today have already been deceived? Can anybody make it make sense why today so many people are deceived? How has they been deceived today? Okay, tell you what. Can you say that many have been deceived already? That's the question. Can you say that many have already been deceived? Yes, the Antichrist is coming. I mean, I don't think he's coming. I think he's here. Yep, I really do. Yes, that's true. Already been deceived. So when I get to oh, that's it for that one, isn't it? 3 and 4. So that was 24. Okay. Now in I didn't even write it down. I sure didn't. I sure didn't write it down. But let's go to I didn't even, I was Matthew's chapter 24 and 46. In Matthew's chapter 24 and 46, we are bringing light out of the scriptures, okay? Matthew's chapter 24, verse 46, and it reads, Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. What is that saying? What is that saying? Matthew chapter 24 and verse 46. Matthew 24 and 46. It says, Blessed is that servant whom his Lord will, when he come, shall find so doing. What is that saying? And that's something I want you all to also think about. When the Most High comes, he's hoping we in a place being about his business. I know a lot of people feel it's time to really relax and just assume, we're just waiting. Oh, no, no, no. He wants to find, listen to what it says, verse 46, Matthew 24 and 46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he come, shall find so doing. There are several verses also in this instruction study guide that tells us that be on a watch and be found doing. So you see, it's almost like we still just can't sit back and say, I'm just waiting. You see, it's something we have to be found in the right place. You know how they say the right place, the right time, and the right place. You remember the 10 virgins? You see, they were not found doing anything. And then when that time comes, now they want to get ready. No, 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 no. That's why the trumpet has been blown. And I believe the trumpet has already been blown. And I think we're in that midnight hour without a doubt. But somewhere along the line, everything that is the way that it is today, I believe the Most High have already he's content right where it's at, because he already knows it ain't gonna go no further. And that's what he's working with me on, is that it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and you just find yourself doing, or like you said, being about your father's business and not so much about the worldly matters. Let's go. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. No, that's not it, Shelby. No, that's not it. That's not 3. That wasn't it, the verse. That's not it. So no, I can't use that one. But I like that Matthew 24 and verse 46 because I felt it was talking to me as well. That's the way I saw it. I felt it was talking straight to me, let me know, you know, because it even talked about how there's going to be servants that said he's not coming yet, or he prolonged his time, and they're going to go out into the world and they're going to serve the world at its highest with drunkenness and everything else. But just look at that. They announced that he wasn't coming, or he's going to prolong his time. We don't want to tell people that because our time is not said to be when he come. Our time, my time can end tonight. You see, your time can end tomorrow. So he just said, be ready in your inner man, having your heart set on him. I don't know if you ever woke up in the morning, all you could think about is him. I do. Even when I lay down at night, all I can think about is him. And it ain't saying that all I can think about it, but it's like it's on me. It's like something that can't come off of me. You know, it's something that it's with me. Okay. So let's go to Luke. In the book of Luke, chapter 21. In the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 31. In the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 31, and it reads in verse 31. So let me see, Luke chapter 21, right? And 31. What do you think this means? So likewise, ye, when you see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand. What do you think that means? When it says Luke 21 and 31. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of Yah is at hand. The kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand. What do that mean? One thing it's talking about is when you see these things come to pass. So guess what? Guess what that means? Okay. Guess what it means when it says the kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand, present. See, while you seeing these things come to pass, you just thinking, oh, well, we still wait. No, he's letting you know. The kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand. Let me see if that's exactly what it says. Yeah, at hand. That means present. Not coming, but present. So while we sitting around, like I told y'all before, we sitting around seeing all these things taking place, and we still saying, oh, he ain't coming. Oh, it ain't, we still got, let me look at my clock. We still got time. Oh, it ain't all that. Oh, it ain't about, you know what? Let me tell you. While we saying all that, guess what? We are not in doing at all anything. It's going to bypass us because he just said, be found doing. And if we got this, if we don't understand what it's saying here in 21 of Luke chapter 21 and verse 31, it says, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass. Why would you bypass it if you see these things come to pass and act like it ain't nothing going on? That's what 99.9 people do. They don't care about all these prophecies coming to pass. And that's what me, myself, learned. I'm like always running up to the throne saying, Father, but they ain't doing this going on and this going on. They act like they don't. Deborah, let it go. It'll eat you up and eat you out to keep thinking and wondering why ain't nobody focusing on these things that was already prophesied and teaching, preaching, ministering, because they're not on the Father's side. That's why. Okay. They own their own side. They own their flesh side. That's what they teaching in these places. And I'll be like that because people be having, look at Joe Osteen when they have all these people in they church. Joyce Meyer have all these followers and all these people, and here they is ain't teaching the people nothing. Cliff O'Dollars, TD Jakes, none of them are teaching nothing and ain't coming nowhere near anything. But he's letting you know that here in 31, Luke chapter 21 and verse 31, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand. That means on the earth. See? Cutting up, finna cut up. And everybody's just thinking, oh, he ain't know where these things are happening, but so what? But y'all don't even understand where the Father is. I told y'all that his wrath is on the earth. Okay? His judgment is on the earth. His fire is kindled. And we sitting around here like, hey, no, he ain't came yet. We don't know if it already told you when you start to see the things come to pass. Know that who? The kingdom of Yah is nigh at hand. They don't believe it. So when you get to Luke 21 and verse 33, Luke 21 and verse 33 and 34, it says, and heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. This is the one I've been telling y'all about, how the word is Yah. And the reason why a lot of people couldn't grip it is because they got an S behind it. Even with the S behind it or S not behind it, it's the word of Yah. Yah is the word. So it's saying here, heaven and earth shall pass away. So what is it people don't understand? When it says heaven and earth shall pass away, what do you think that means? I mean, honestly, what do you think when it says heaven and earth shall pass away? What are they supposed to mean to people? They don't. Right now, everybody's like a cuckoo clock. They could give a rat's behind. But right there, it says heaven and earth shall pass away. So that should tell somebody that, wait a minute, y'all, you mean the heavens and the earth going to pass away? They don't believe it. He is here right now. Exactly. But they don't believe it. They don't grip it. It's not, and another thing, it's not very many people talking about it either. It's not very many people talking about it. It means it will be non-existent. Exactly. It's gone. But why does it say, but my word shall not pass away? You see that? That's showing you that Yah is the word. And we were taught that the word were the books. So if heaven and earth pass away, is that not the book? The books. It's a part of what's on the earth. And if the earth pass away, don't the books pass away? So what is this when it says, but, Deborah, nail it, but the word shall not pass away? Why? Because Yah is the word. And the word is Yah. It was with Yah in the beginning. And it shall be with him in the end. You see? So no, he can't pass away, but the mindset of the people not understanding that the word is Yah. So what words is this that one would say that he's meaning everything's written in this book? Don't be too naive. If you only seen how long this book been existing, and this book is not the word that will not pass away. Okay, so it's talking about the Most High, who is the word. And verse 34 said, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life. See, stuff like that remind me of what today is. This is what everybody is bombarded with, and they will not own that thing for nothing. This is what he's saying. The cares of life, and so that day come upon them unaware. So what day is that? When heaven and earth is passed away. People are going to be caught up. Time, at any time, your heart overcharged with serpentine and drunkenness, and the cares of this world. Oh boy, let me tell y'all something. The cares of this world can so trap you. Woo! They can trap you in so many ways that's off this chain. But y'all want us to know. Don't be like the 10 virgins, and the 5 not having, not ready, and not going. Okay? So this is what verse 34 is saying here. The day cometh upon you unaware. See, if people think y'all gonna check with them before he come. People think that. People think when they die, y'all gonna have to check with them first. People think that. Oh, I can't die. What you mean? Because I realize that no matter what your health is, you can die healthy. See, because we rule this. We think the day in and the day out is our choice. That's how much power we got in our flesh to think stupid. We think we make humans, especially these women. And you know what else, y'all? Look at that, verse 34. The word is serpentine, and it means satisfied. That's sad. It means satisfied, became satisfied, and being satisfied. That means you get into a lifestyle and you satisfied. Oh, that's dangerous, because now you feel satisfied where you at, what you doing. You see? And he said, don't be like that. Let's see if that's what it said. It said, at any time your hearts be overcharged with being satisfied, or became satisfied, and drunkenness and the cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware. We can get so satisfied, y'all. You know what keeps me from getting satisfied? Is Yah. It's just something that I have not found satisfying on this earth. And I know it has to be detached to him in me. Because you really can't, I can't be being satisfied or became satisfied, because I'm that one that's, like I say, in the ocean, and I go down and I be down there so long, I plead for a breather, and then I come up, get a breather just to go back down. Who's satisfied with that? Who's content with something like that? It's a testimony for me where I am with Yah. I'd rather be in that ocean down yonder with him than to be on dry land with the serpent seeds. So I still give him glory and praise for not allowing me to be so satisfied on the ways or the cares or the issues, just so satisfied with this living on this earth. See, he ain't never wanted us to, not the servants, because we came down here for a mission, to complete a mission for the Father. We came down here to serve as servants for the Most High Yah. We can't get satisfied down here and say this is our home, and get content. Oh no. And this is, y'all, look, read 34. It'll make you think about yourself. But most people ain't moved by that because they figure, whatever. But it's something, it causes you to think. Verse 34, Luke chapter 21 and verse 34. And take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with being satisfied, and drunkenness, and cares of this life. So satisfied with the cares of this life, he's lining it up with drunkenness. And so that day come upon you unaware. Why is it coming upon you unaware? Because you so concerned with the cares of the world, being satisfied on this in your living, under this drunkenness and the cares of this life. Your heart gets satisfied in drunkenness, the cares of this life, and your heart is so satisfied. And that's the issue with me. I can't see how anybody could be satisfied. All this stuff going on, they can't see it, they can't hear it, they don't understand none of it, they don't even know what's going on. They really don't. So they can't be anything but satisfied, caught up in the cares of the world, because they satisfied. They don't see nothing wrong. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if y'all noticed that Sister Deborah don't be in that. You just don't see they did it. They did it. No. After the Father told me a million times, Deborah, that ain't going nowhere. That's who they are. People are satisfied with how they're living going, how they're moving about, how everything from A to Z, they are satisfied. And when I looked up that word, serpentine, I think that's how you say it, serpentine, I looked that word up. It means in Hebrew, became satisfied, being satisfied. That means people get so content in their hearts to be satisfied. You know what happens when you're satisfied? You have no need for the one that gives you your daily bread, that keeps your heart beating, because you're so satisfied where you at. Most people think they put them or they got themselves where they at, not even understanding the reason why one is where they at. When you understand that reason and you give the one that suffered you to be where you at without you being satisfied, because you said, I'm satisfied down here and I don't want to go nowhere else. I don't care about no heaven. I don't care about no eternal life. Why? Because your heart is satisfied here on this earth. Okay. So let's go to Luke chapter 21 and verse 16. Luke chapter 21 and verse 16. And it reads, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents, by brethren. You see that where it says brethren? That's people in your own ministry. And kinsfolks, that's your family, and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. See, people don't believe that. That's happening right now today, y'all. That's happening right now today. Why would that be that way? Why? Because we're dealing in the battle of an unseen war. It's a war against those that are the spiritual seed and those that are the serpent seed. It's an unseen battle, and the flesh is what's being used, but the spirit is what's behind it. And that's what makes it a spiritual battle. Okay, so here in verse 16 it says, and ye shall be betrayed. What time period is this? This is going into the end days where ye shall be betrayed both. Listen to this. Both parents. No, both by parents and brethrens and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Listen to what verse 17 says. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So why is it you are being betrayed? Do you know why you're being betrayed? By your parents, by your brethren, by your kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Verse 17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Do y'all understand what that's saying? That's actually letting you know that namesake is in you. You see? While everybody trying to tell you the name on the outside. That namesake, for my name's sake. That's not a name we call him by out of our mouth. That's a name that is in us that caused that serpent, those who serve the darkness and the serpent seed in our family, among our brethren, of our parents, our kinfolks, our friends. See, those are all the ones we think should love us, as we call love on the earth. Those are the ones supposed to care and love us. Those my friends. Those my parents. Those my kinfolks. Oh, my brethren in the church. Those are people who's supposed to be in the same fellowship. You see? And look at friends, y'all. So when Yeshua is saying something like that, do you know that 99.15 trillion wouldn't pay this no mind? Because they will allow all of these titles to be the opposite of what he just said. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents, brethren, kinfolks, and friends. And then in verse 17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So that connection of that namesake got to be Christ, which is the word, the power, and the spirit. They're going to hate you for that very reason. And this is why I was telling y'all, we would sit here and we would curse Yah, we would disrespect him, we would profane his name, we wouldn't want to have nothing to do with him, all because of this. That's because we're on the other side of him anyway. He tells you, because he tell you the truth, you hate him. And that's not just you hating him, you hate his servants. All because what? They tell you the truth. See, telling the truth is an enemy to the world itself and to the multitude on this earth. The truth has always been the enemy when it's supposed to set you free. But they didn't turn the truth into the enemy of themselves. And on verse 17 of Luke chapter 21 and verse 17, and he said, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. See, that namesake is in you, y'all. So why they out here chasing a name on the outside? The namesake is in you already. They hate you for its purpose. You don't have to call it out to prove to them you know the name. The name is greater than anything on the outside. So why are we claiming the name on the outside, making it greater when the greater one is what's in us and he knows his name? I know it. You think he don't know his own name, do it? Let you tell it. He don't even know his own name. But I'm sure his name is with him if he's in me. So what do I need to come out here chasing the name you said? When great is the name is within me. Ooh, Sister Deb is losing it. But it's just a stage of when you get there, you just realize it's too deep for people even to even comprehend. Okay, so in Luke chapter 21, we still in 21 and verse 20. Let's see what it says. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compressed with army, then know that desolation thereof is nigh. That means what? Present. Now, want me to tell you what I learned about that? You know, Sister Deborah, for many years, I used to ask the Father, when are you going to do something with them people over there on the land over there? When are you going to do something with them? So everybody getting done with, but when are you going to do something there? There it is right there. And when you, Luke chapter 21 and verse 20, and when you shall see Jerusalem compressed with army, so they bringing Jerusalem down, yeah. There is going to be a war to bring Jerusalem down. They're going to have to bring them down. And the war might also be detached to the Euphrates River, where the four beasts, in a sense, is going to rise and start that big war where 2/3 are going to be destroyed. This is where I believe Israel is detached to it. And I love this here, but you don't hear nobody preach it. You don't hear nobody teach it. And even over there where they call themselves portraying to be the real Israel, look over there, y'all. You think they'll claim this? They thinking Yeshua. They got the world thinking Yeshua HaMashiach, which they call in Jesus. They don't believe in Jesus, but they think the Father is coming there to get them and to do things for them. They really want people to believe it. They know, now, y'all, let me tell y'all something. They know it. They know they serve darkness. Y'all, they know they serve darkness. It's just they got the world deceived. Because they've been ruling as the head. Now they're going to be the tail. Okay. So notice in verse 20, it says, and when ye see Jerusalem compressed with armies. So that's your key to know. When you see them get on that land with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Verse 21. Then let them which are in Judah flee to the mountains. Let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein. Oh, baby. Why ain't they gripping that? See, that's what I don't get. And none of the churches will preach it because they're serving serpent seeds. These Christian churches are serpent seeds. They are the shield for the Roman Catholic. Okay? They said that let not them that are in the countries enter therein. Don't go into Israel. Don't y'all see them took 1,000 pastors from the United States of America over? They got a trip to make over in Israel. Take y'all tail on over there. Okay. Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. See, y'all, right there. He just told the whole world. See, this is what he was saying. What you think I'm going to come back and do? It's over. I gave them everything, and it's plainly seen. You won't hear the pastors, the bishops, nobody preaching this. The Hebrew Israelites won't touch it. You see? And here he's telling you how he's finna deal with Israel. And letting us know, those that can hear, those that can see, when you see Israel surrounded with the army, that's it for them. Start praising and glorifying Yah. That's it for them. And I knew they had to come down. I just was waiting. Why they ain't came down yet? Why? Because I know Yah has to restore over in that area. See, they thinking we going down on that land. Y'all finna take us to the mountains, y'all. But he gonna get them out of there. Y'all done enough. You had your time. It's time to get rid of you. And they know it. But they got the world believing the lie. Have you all heard that they took, I think it's 1,000 pastors from the United States of America is going over there for a conference to start a new Zion Christian church. Now, don't that sound stupid? They don't even believe, those Jews over there don't believe in Jesus at all. They don't even believe in God. They serve darkness and portraying that they are the people. How could they see? This world can't even be deceived by that, because this ain't nothing about what they've been saying they are that should have deceived anyone. People just wanted to give that money to those people because they were European people, and they wanted to turn that money over to them. They know who the true Jews are, and it don't matter. They just wanted to do what they doing, and that's just it. Look at now. Everybody know who the true Jews are, but they still licking their feet. It don't matter, okay? So when I get to Psalms 119, we're going to bring light out of Psalms 119 and verse 105. 119 and verse 105. In the book of Psalms 119 and verse 105, what do you think this is saying? Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Now, you see what I just said? He just called out the word. He let you know thy word. David letting the Most High know thy word. He ain't saying Torah. He ain't saying the King James, the 1611, Enoch, the lost books, the found books. He's saying thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. What is he saying? He's actually saying the word and the light. The word and the light is the Father, who sent his only begotten Son, Christ. Christ is the Father. Father is Christ. Christ is the only begotten Son that Yah formed of himself, who is his spirit, who is his word, and who is his power. So here in Psalms 119, 105, it speaks of the word. The word was with Yah. The word is Yah. The word was with him in the beginning. The ball was dropped in Genesis. The world has no idea that Yah is the word. They have no idea. They have no idea that even a light unto my path, he's that awesome light that was given unto man, which was an image of himself. You see? So we wouldn't understand this, but this is what bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me dearly. How could David know that he was the word? And we running our dumb tails around calling the book the word. How did David know that the Father was the word? David wasn't talking about a book. He wasn't talking about Enoch. He wasn't even talking about the scrolls. He was talking about Yah himself, for he is the word. Okay. So that's in Psalms 119, verse 105. David is speaking of the word. Look what it is. It's a lamp. And what does it do? It leads us and the light until our path. We have given a spirit to be led in the path of righteousness through the narrow gate. Do we travel through this light? Because Yah is our lamp and he is the word. Okay. So when I get to, let's go to the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 12. The Gospel of John, chapter 8 and verse 12. In the Gospel of John, chapter 8 and verse 12, it reads in verse 12 of the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 12. Then spoke Yeshua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. You see that? You look here and you see where it says, Yeshua spoke again unto them and saying, I am the light. I am is a form of the Father who can be I am. He can be the I am here. He can be the I am here. He comes and he pours up. Even when Yeshua is speaking, he pull up. You see, he just pull up out of nowhere. And he's saying here, I am the light. That's what in Psalms David was saying. And that was in Psalms 119, 105. Your word is a lamp and a light, woo, unto my feet. Woo, you see? And here it comes back in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 12. And Yeshua was speaking, then speak Yeshua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So you see how he said the light of life. Those are the ones that's going to find the narrow gate because they got the light that leads their feet, the path. That light that they have, that's how they are able to find the narrow gate and go therein to what? To find what? Life. Eternal life. See, when you're going through the narrow gate, you have to be going through the narrow gate. You're going to have the light that leading you to what? Life. Very few shall find therein because they don't know the way to the narrow gate. Let knowns the way to life. But Sister Deborah don't know the way to the narrow gate, nor do she know the way to life. But because of the light that's in me, it leads me not only to the narrow gate, but it takes me the way to life. You see? So a lot of times people thinking, oh, I don't need that. I don't need this. All I have is this. I got this. I'm going. No. And you know what else I'm learning? We really can't say for sure how Yah is going to get his to him. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. And I know I should really do it because I'm being disobedient. There's something going on. And nobody ever talked about it. No one preached about it, talk about it. And I got in it today a little bit. When Yeshua when we go to Mount Zion, I think Yeshua is coming for those who are going to be left. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think he's coming separate. We're going to be gone. And I think he's coming separate for those that's going to be left. Those that's still going to be falling in as the sheep. I can't, because you can't put the both of them together. Because the Father going to be on Mount Zion. And it is said that King David, it is said that we're going to leave from Exodus. That's just something they put there. But we're going to get out. We're going to leave out. And we're going to travel there. We're going to get there. But then what about Yeshua? When he go to the four corners collecting the nations, what time period is that? What, you know what I'm saying? And that's my fault, because stuff like that I don't get into. But the Father been on me for probably longer than 3 or 4 months to really break it down. And how he wants me to do it is, why, he's in me, but I sit down and keep still until I get it. To me, it's just so, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, I'll be like this. It just, because it just seems like it's just so much to it. And you have not heard nobody teach it nor preach it. And this is what make people think there's a rapture. There's make people think that, oh no, he's coming for our religion, or he's coming for us, or he's coming for this denomination, all this mess. But the truth be told, Yeshua gonna be collecting all nations. And in them nations, it's gonna be sheep and goats. But where is Israel and Judah in that? It almost like that's a different time period after he has taken us out of here. And I just can't keep still. I shouldn't say I can't, but I will be lying if I say I can. And I asked the Father to give me what I need to do, to at least to get into that, because that's something he's trying to show me. And when he showed me, I'll show you. Because I'm gonna tell you something. There's two things got to happen, and it is right before us right now. One is to bring Israel and Judah out from the four corners. The other one is Yeshua collecting from the four corners the nations that's going to be brought to the kingdom as sheep and as goats. See, why I say that there's something deep in it is because when we get to Mount Zion, you got to understand who's in the midst, the Father. You see? So therefore, Yeshua, it seems as if Yeshua should not have to come to Mount Zion, for it is holy, to collect, you see, the sheep and the goats, because on Mount Zion, it's only going to be the holy ones. You get what I'm saying? So while they're on Mount Zion, who is that he's coming for on the four corners? It says all nations. And in all nations, there's sheep and there's sheep and there's goats. And he judging them to the kingdom for eternal, and he's judging them. He's not, but the throne. When they go before the throne, he's actually putting them in line. Goats on one side, sheep's on the next. You see? So he's even telling the sheep, let me take you to the king. Here's the kingdom that was prepared for you before the foundation of the world. You see? Here, this is yours. You see? And then he also separate the goats and showed them their direction and put some sort of judgment on them based on what their works were and how they did what they did. So what time period is that versus the time period of up in Mount Zion? Israel and Judah, even up in Mount Zion, where Israel and Judah, I believe we're going to have strangers there as well, meaning others with us. But what I'm trying to say is how did it's you have to be able to say what's going on, and that's all Yah want to do. And when I say I'm disobedient, it's because he wants to show me, and I'm gonna do all right. I'm gonna do better. Yes, yeah. The last comment was Yah order our steps. And yet, yes, he did that before the foundation of the world. Hmm. Yes, he sure did. So that's something I would like to get into and to find out really those two gatherings, those two, because I do know the kingdom is coming down to the earth. So I'm thinking that those that's on Mount Zion, either they're going to be uh, changed as the New Jerusalem come down, or they going to, I don't know how that is. I don't know. You mean, remember he said there's going to be those who are not going to even taste death. So I know there's got to be something where heaven's coming down. Maybe they're not going to taste death. And the reason why I would think they wouldn't taste death is because he said that for 1,000 years they're going to reign on Mount Zion. That's a lot of years. You see? And and if those are the individual who's not going to taste death, because they're going to be lived 1,000 years, and the New Jerusalem is going to come down, and I don't even think in that same area, because heaven and earth going to be passed away. So I don't know how the Father has his plan of what he's going to do, but I can tell you this: it's too many signs and wonders that's actually taking place. I mean, a lot, from the heavens and from the sea. Yah is showing a lot of things that's showing the signs of his coming. Mhm. A lot of things. You make sure you don't get caught up in this world who's trying to show us the sign of Yah. They can't show us nothing. They can kick rocks all day long if they choose to, but they can't show us nothing. You see, we got something greater than the world itself. So they can't show us nothing. They doing all kind of things. And every time they do something, it's always a whole bunch of Europeans behind them. Oh, they've seen a face of Yah in the heavens. Oh, they didn't seen Yeshua in the clouds. Or on the mountain, Yah shine. He done all this. And it ain't changed nothing y'all still doing on the earth. So why are y'all trying to make it look like y'all seeing something spiritual, and it ain't changed your wicked heart? Okay. And they quick to do that. People quick to try to say, well, wasn't the rocks in the water? He spoke out of the water. All that. Look, I don't listen to none of them, because that's that sign he said. Don't take heed to them, because they're gonna say he's out here. He's out here. All miracles and signs and wonders, they're gonna be portraying. Oh, that's Christ. Why Christ? Because that's that power. And the way that anything like that can actually take place is through that power. You see? So believe it or not, a world that you don't even know, have no idea, they know how to manipulate people to believe, by trying to mimic the power of the Father. They know the power is Christ. They ain't trying to mimic Yeshua, sending a man like Yeshua, sending a European going up the streets and down the country saying he Yeshua. They ain't trying to mimic that. They trying to mimic the power, and we don't even understand the power. Here they are trying to use the power to manipulate us, and we can't even understand, can't even discern that Yah is about that power, and the power is about him. And that's what they're manipulating, because they know what Yah really is consist of, that power. He said when they come out there, what did he say? Did y'all know in Matthew's, they said that when you go out there, watch this here. Let me show you exactly. And 99 billion people have no idea. With that Christ that they say, watch this here. I'm going to show you something. Here it is right here. Matthew 24 and 24. And there shall arise false Christs, meaning false powers, and false prophets, meaning lying people, and shall show great signs and wonders. Wait a minute. Hold up. You all ain't saying that false Yeshua, false Son of Man. No, they talking about the power that shows you they know Yah is consist first and foremost of power. How is it that Judah can be so foolish and not take heed to the power of Yah first and foremost? It is nothing we're going to be able to do, because how the Christ come to live in us is through that power. After that Ruach come upon you, you shall receive that power. You see? So we don't understand when it says in Matthew 24 and 24, it says, and there shall rise false Christs. That means false powers, and false prophets, mean false teachers, and shall show great, look at the word great, y'all, signs and wonders, inasmuch that if it was possible, they shall deceive the very elect. If it was possible, but it's not going to be. You see? That, and a lot of people say, when they preach that, guess what they say? That they're going to come and they're going to even fool the prophets of the Most High. Y'all use a lie from the pit of hell. That ain't what that's saying. And if it's saying that, somewhere on the line, along the line, they lied too, but it ain't even saying that. It said, if it was so. That means Yah didn't make it so they can deceive his prophets. See, they did not, or his elect. See, he didn't make it so. He said, if it was, just showing you they're going to deceive everybody else except for Yah's elects. That's what it's telling y'all. But people don't grip that. They don't get that. They think they ain't going to be deceived. Yes, you are. Only one. Listen to what it says. Verse 24, for there shall rise false Christs, which is false powers, and false prophets, false teachers, and shall show great signs and wonders, inasmuch that if it were, and then you look at the biblical in your book, the study guide shows you right like this. If were, just letting you know, when you see that word slanted, letting you know, there's some spirit in there. If it were, it's slanted. Why is it slanted? Letting you know, if you got to focus on if, not if, but it were, because he's showing you that's where the power is not going to let that. If it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Yah's elects will not be deceived. You see? And I'm grateful for that. But they don't teach it like that. Now, you got a lot of them saying that that's how they're going to be so easy to deceive people with this power, but not the elects. So that shows you they're not going to get away with fooling Yah's elect. And that's what Sister Deborah is here to say. It's that power. I know what that power. I try to teach y'all that power back in Genesis. You see? What y'all do not know, these people ain't searching nothing on this earth but that power. That power. And they need the power to control. Y'all just as sick as sick can be. This country don't give a rat's behind about your money. They can go in the hole and make it up like they ain't never had it. Like they have never had. They always had it. They can make money, y'all. So they're not caught up in money. What we're in this end day is power and control. That's it. And you know what else? To them, ain't nothing else worth anything. When it hurt me, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this here because this, just to know that this is true. When they told me how they are taking young girls, getting them, inserting babies or sperms or whatever into them. They having babies. This is what they doing underground, y'all. And they taking these babies along with these girls. They doing it to them too. They getting their what is it? I forgot the name of it, but it's in their bodies, and they're using it. They're eating it. They're drinking it, and they're needing these babies so that they can whatever it is. And see, what y'all did not know, even when they are taking the child's life, they're doing it while they're alive, because this is where that power comes in to them. And you all sitting here, you don't see all those people, Oprah, Gail, and the reason why Oprah is because she's the head ring. And Gail, I'm looking at her and I'm saying, wait a minute, y'all really doing that up. Look at their bodies, y'all. Look at their face. Let me tell you who else I seen. It's a lot of them, y'all. It's a lot of them. Who was that I seen today? And I said, that can't be her face. That cannot be her face. Even they size. Y'all, let me get off of that. I started getting a headache on that already, because there's so much, it's so much going on with these children and the way this country is doing this. And all I keep saying, Father, are you tired of seeing this? Is it how long? I can see why them angels under the altar. How long, Father? Because this is really, they doing some things, y'all heart, y'all mind, y'all ears. Nothing about your flesh nor your spirit can even digest. I'm just saying it. It's worse, and it's worse than what I'm trying to say it. So, because it's like, they doing it, and you can see it in the realm of the spirit, but it's vain and vax to even break it down, because ain't nobody's heart there trying to. It ain't nothing we can do. Let's just put it like that. So that's why I say it to the Father. How long? How long? So I appreciate you in the live chat. They're not opening was looking like that. Gail too. When she went in that thing on space, her and Gail was looking old. I'm telling y'all, you should see what they look like now. You should see. They look every bit of teenagers. And it's not just them. It's a lot of them. And nobody is saying. That's why, what's his name? Elon Musk. You can see it in his face, like he's been doing it for years. But you can see it in his face. But to me, he looks like a clone. He really do. He don't even look like a human. But somebody need to give, I guess, Donald Trump something, huh? But since he's so evil in it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody can't take that. Not what they doing. One man was teaching, giving his testimony on how he delivered them bodies to a place that Oprah was over. And I said, that's it. I knew it was something. I just could. Woo, y'all, I got to get off of here. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. And I say, shalom and shalom.